Hello everyone. Welcome to my channel. If you are preparing for a principal interview, you are in the right place. In this video, I will be sharing commonly asked interview question along with smart, effective answers that will help you make a lasting impression and stand out as a strong leader. So this one is not only for principal interview, this will be for vice principal or headmistress interview as well. Whether you are an experienced educator aiming to seep into leadership or someone looking to polish your responses, this video will give you the confidence you need. So don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more educational leadership contents. Let's get started. The first question is why are you interested in the principal position? I am interested in the principal position because I have a passion for leading and developing successful school communities. As an experienced principal, I understand the importance of creating a safe and supportive learning environment that encourages students to reach their full potential. I believe my experience and skill set make me uniquely qualified to lead this school community. My background includes working with diverse student population, implementing innovative instructional strategies, and managing complex budgets. I also have extensive experience in building relationship with faculty, staff, parents, and other stakeholders in order to create a positive school culture. My commitment to collaboration and communication has enabled me to develop strong teams and foster a sense of unity within the school community. In addition, I possess a deep understanding of educational best practices and current trends in education. I am committed to staying up to date on research and technology so that I can so that I can so that I can ensure our students receive the highest quality instruction possible. Finally, I am passionate about providing equitable access to resources and opportunities for all students, regardless of race, gender, or socio-economic status. So these are the reason I am interested in the principal position because I have a skill to be a principal of your esteemed institution. What are your qualifications? Second question that it might be asked, what are your qualification for the role? I have over 1 years of experience, or 5 years of experience, 10 years of experience, 2 years of experience in school administration. Based on your experience, you can use this and in school administration and leadership, making me an ideal candidate for the role of principal. I have bachelor degree in education. My professional experience includes working as a principal at approx 9 different schools with successful outcomes. At my current position, I have implemented several initiatives to improve students' achievement, including implementing a data-driven decision-making process that has resulted in improved test scores across all grade levels. I have also worked closely with teachers and staff to create a positive learning environment, which has led to increased parent engagement and higher morale among students. In addition, I have developed strong relationship with community partners to ensure our students have access to resources inside and outside of the classroom. Third question it might be asked here, what would you change about your current school? At my current school, I have been able to implement a number of positive changes that have had a positive impact on the student and staff. However, there are still areas where improvements can be made. One area I would like to focus on is increasing student engagement in the classroom. I believe that by providing more opportunities for students to interact with one another and participates in hands-on activities, we can create an environment that encourages learning and exploration. To do this, I plan to introduce more interactive technologies such as virtual reality and augmented reality into the curriculum. This will not only keep students engaged but also help them develop critical thinking skills. So, this will improve the students' critical thinking skill as well as cognitive skill. Another area I would like to improve is communication between teachers and parents. I think it is important that parents feel informed about their child's progress and development at school. To achieve this, I plan to introduce a system of regular updates via diary note or text message so that parents can stay up to date with their child's performance. How would your current students describe you? My current students describe me as a supportive and encouraging leader. I strive to create an environment where everyone feels safe and respected while also challenging them to reach their highest potential. I believe in providing positive reinforcement and celebrating success, no matter how small. And my goal is to foster a sense of community within the school and ensure that each student has access to the resources they need to succeed. I am passionate about creating a learning environment that is both engaging and stimulating for all students. Finally, I take pride in being available to my students whenever they need help or advice. What makes a good fit for this school? Question number fifth. Uh, Answer: I believe I'm an excellent fit for this school because of my experience in leading successful education institution. My background includes over 5 years as a principal, during which time I have implemented numerous initiatives to improve students' learning outcomes and create positive learning environments. In addition, my leadership style is based on collaboration and respect. I strive to foster relationship with teachers, staff, parents, and students that are built on trust and open communication. These have enabled me to build strong teams that work together to achieve our goals. Furthermore, I am passionate about creating equitable opportunities for all students. I have worked hard to ensure that every student has access to the resources they need to succeed academically, socially, and emotionally. My commitment to equity has been recognized by local organizations and statewide education boards. Question number 6: what skills and experience will help you be a successful principal? I believe my skills and experiences make me an ideal candidate for the position of the principal. I have a strong background in educational leadership, having served as a principal for more than 1 year or 2 year or 3 year. Based on your experience at a successful school, during this time, I developed a deep understanding of best practices for leading a school community. So during that time, I worked as a principal of a school. I developed a deep understanding of best practices for leading a school community. In addition to my experience, I bring a unique set of skills to the table. My interpersonal communication skill are excellence, which allows me to effectively collaborate with teachers, staffs, and parents. I am also highly organized and detail oriented in enabling me to stay on top of all tasks and ensure deadlines are met. Finally, I possess a strong ability to think strategically and develop innovative solutions to complex problems. So my most important quality is that I possesses a strong ability to think strategically and develop innovative solution to complex problems. What is your favorite part of teaching? Question number 7. As a teacher, when you was teaching? My favorite part of teaching is the opportunity to make a positive impact on students' lives. Whenever I was teaching, as an educator, I believe it is my responsibility to provide students with the tools they need to become successful in life. I enjoy watching them grow and develop into confident young adults who are ready to take on the world. As a principal, I am also passionate about creating an environment where teachers can thrive and be supported in their work. I strive to create a culture of collaboration and trust between teachers, administrators, and parents so that we can all work together to ensure our students get the best education possible. My goal is to foster an atmosphere where everyone feels valued and respected and where learning is fun and engaging for all. Question number 8. What do you want to accomplish in your first 30 days? Here, this question is a great way to see how the candidate plans and prioritizes. It also gives you an idea of what they think are important for the new school community. When answering this question, it is best to focus on your goals rather than a specific task or projects. Answer you in my first 30 days as principal or vice principal or headmistress, I want to make sure that I'm able to get a good understanding of the school and its culture. This includes getting to know the staff, students, parents, community members. I also want to ensure that I have an effective communication plan in place so that all stakeholders are informed about any changes or initiative they will be taking place. Finally, I would like to develop an action for implementing any new policies or procedures that need to be implemented in order to improve student achievement. My goal is to create an environment where everyone feels supported and valued and where a student can reach their full potential. What do you feel is the biggest changing challenge facing education today? This question can help the interviewers. This question What do you feel is the biggest challenge facing education today? Question number 9. This question can help the interviewer get a sense of your knowledge about education and how you might approach challenges. When answering this question, it can be helpful to mention something that is relevant to the school or district where you are interviewing. I believe the biggest challenge facing education today is ensuring that all students have access to a quality education. This means providing equitable resources and opportunities for learning, regardless of This means providing equitable resources and opportunities for learning, regardless of a student's background or economic status. It also means creating an environment where every student feels safe, supported, and valued. As principal, vice principal, headmistress, I am committed to addressing this challenge head on by working with the teachers, families, and community members to create a school culture that promotes equity and inclusion. I will strive to ensure that our curriculum reflects the diversity of our student population and our classroom are places where all students can learn without fear of judgment or discrimination. Finally, I will work to build strong relationship between home and school so that parents and guardians feel empowered to support their children's academic success. So it is my prime duty that I will work to build a strong relationship between home and school so that parents and guardians feel empowered to support their children's academic success. What is your educational philosophy? Question number 10. This question is an opportunity to show the interviewer your beliefs that education and how you would implement them in this role. Your answers should include a few key principles that are important to you, such as collaboration, creativity, or critical thinking. My education philosophy is rooted in the belief that every student has the potential to learn and grow. I believe in creating a safe, supportive learning environment where students feel empowered to take risks and explore their interest. My goal as an educator is to foster a culture of collaboration and respect among teachers, staff, and students. I also strive to create meaningful relationship with my students so that they can develop trust and believe in me, confidence in me as a leader. As their leader, I want them to know that I am invested in their success and will do whatever takes to help them reach their goals. I want them to know that I am invested in their success and I will do whatever it takes to help them reach their goals. Finally, I believe in providing students with equal access to resources and opportunities that allow them to discover their passions and pursue their dreams. What experience do you have with leading a faculty meeting? Question number 11. I have extensive experience leading faculty meetings in my current role as a principal, vice principal, or head of a school. I lead monthly faculty meeting to discuss school policies and procedures, review student performance, and plan for upcoming events. During these meetings, I ensure that all staff members are engaged in the discussion by providing opportunities for them to share their ideas and opinions. I also strive to create an environment of collaboration and respect so that everyone feels comfortable participating. In addition, I have implemented a system of follow up after each meeting to ensure that tasks are completed on time and that any changes or updates are communicated effectively. This has been extremely successful in helping our faculty stay organized and focused on achieving our goals. Finally, I always make sure to provide feedback and recognition to those who contributed during the meetings. This helps foster a sense of team spirit and encourages everyone to be involved. Question number 12. How have you ever had to discipline a teacher? This question can give the interviewers insight into how you handle conflict and whether or not you have ever had to discipline a teacher. When answering this question, it can be beneficial to mention that you are willing to hold teachers accountable for their actions and provide examples of when you did so in the past. Yes, I had to discipline a teacher in the past. In my previous role as principal, vice principal, headmistress, it was important for me to ensure that all teachers were adhering to the policies and procedures of the school. When I identified a teacher who was not following these guidelines, I took immediate action. I first spoke with the teacher privately to discuss the issue and make them aware of the policy they were violating. If this did not resolve the situation, I then follow up with a formal written warning. Finally, if the behavior continued, I would take further disciplinary actions such as suspension or termination. Throughout this process, I always ensured that I was fair and consistent in my approach so that all staff members were treated equally. Question number 13. What strategies do you use to motivate your teachers? Motivation is an important skill for a principal or for head of a school to have. It is their job to keep teachers, students, staff, parents motivated and excited, and especially to teachers to keep them motivated, excited about teaching, which in turn keeps students engaged and eager to learn. A principal needs to be able to inspire others and help them achieve goals. When answering these questions, it can be helpful to mention specific strategies you use to motivate your team members. Example, I believe that the most effective way to motivate teachers is through positive reinforcement and recognition. I strive to create an environment of collaboration, respect, and trust between myself and my staff. To do this, I have implemented a system of rewards for teachers who go above and beyond in their work. This could be anything from a gift card or certificate of appreciation to a more sustained substantial rewards such as additional time off or a bonus, but after taking uh, permission from the management. In addition, I make sure to provide regular feedback on performance so that teachers know what they are doing well and where there is room for improvements. In addition, I make sure to provide regular feedback on teachers' performance so that teachers know what they are doing well and where there is room for improvement. I also ensure that teachers have access to professional development opportunities and resources to help them stay up to date with best practices. Finally, I'm always available to listen to any concerns or suggestions that teachers may have about how we can improve our school. Describe a time when you made a decision that upset many people. How did it turn out? I recently had to make a difficult decision that upset many people in my last school. I was a principal of an elementary school and we were facing budget cuts due to decreased funding from the state. In order to keep our programs running, I had to make some tough decision about which staff members would be laid off. It was a very difficult process as I had to consider not only the financial implication but also how it would affect the morale of the remaining staff. Ultimately, I decided to lay off five teachers and two support staff members. This decision was met with strong opposition from both the staff and parents. Despite this effort, it was necessary in order to ensure the long term success of the school. Fortunately, my decision ended up being the right one. We were able to maintaining all of our existing programs and even add new ones. The morale of the staff improved as they saw that their hard work was paying off. The students continued to receive the same quality education despite the budget cuts. Question number 15. What would you do if you saw a student stealing from the lunch line? If I saw a student stealing from the lunch line, my first priority would be to ensure the safety of all students and staff. I would approach the student in a calm and non-confrontational manner while also making sure that they understand their behavior is unacceptable. I would then take the time to listen to the student's perspective and try to understand why they felt it was necessary to steal. This could help me identify any underlying issues or problems that may have contributed to this situation. Once I had gathered enough information, I would work with the students to come up with an appropriate consequences for their actions. My goal would be to provide the students with a positive learning opportunity so that they can better understand the consequences of their choices. Finally, I would make sure to follow up with the student to ensure that they are on track to meeting the expectations set forth by the school. Finally, I would make sure to follow up with the student to ensure that they are on track to meeting the expectations set forth by the school. Question number 16. What would you do if a parent was angry about the child's grade? If a parent was angry about their child's grade, the first thing I would do is listen to their concerns. It is important to us understand why they are upset and what their expectations are for their child. After listening to the parents, I would then explain the school's grading policy and how it applies to the child's situation. I would also discuss any resources available to help the students improve their grades such as tutoring or extra credit or extra classes, extra assignments. Finally, I would work with the teachers to come up with an action plan that addresses the parents' concern while still adhering to the school's policies. By taking this approach, I believe I can effectively resolve the issue without compromising the integrity of our grading system. Question number 17. How would you make our school more welcoming? I believe that creating a welcoming school environment start with building relationship. As principal, I would prioritize getting to know that the student staff on an individual level. This could be done through one-on-one meetings, informal conversation in the hall or lunchroom, or even just taking time to listen to the stories and experiences. In addition, I think it is important to create an atmosphere of openness and inclusion where everyone feels safe and respected. To do this, I would focus on implementing clear policies around bullying and harassment, as well as providing resources for those who need support. Finally, I would strive to make sure all students have access to the same opportunities and resources regardless of race, gender, religion, or any other factor. Question number 18. How do you handle a disagreement between two teachers? It is a very important question because and there may be a chances of there is a disagreement between two teachers. When it comes to handling disagreements between two teachers, I believe in taking a proactive approach. First and foremost, I would try to understand the root cause of the disagreement by speaking with both the parties separately. First and foremost, I would try to understand the root cause of the disagreements by speaking with both parties separately. This allows me to gain insight into each teacher's perspective and identify any underlying issues that may be contributing to the conflict. After gathering all the information, I would then bring the teachers together for a discussion in a neutral setting. During this meeting, I would facilitate an open dialogue where both teachers can express their thoughts and feelings and while also listening to one another. My goal is to help them reach a resolution that works best for everyone involved. Finally, if necessary, I would provide additional resources or support to ensure that the issue is resolved effectively and efficiently. What experience have you had with budgeting and fundraising? Principal, vice principal, headmasters often need to manage the school's budget and raise funds for various projects. Employees ask this question to learn about your experiences with this task. Use your answer to explain what you have done in the past, including your any skills or techniques that help you succeed. Answer you have to give. I have an extensive experience with budgeting and fundraising. During my time as a principal, I was responsible for creating and managing the school's annual budget. This included developing an understanding of the school's financial needs, setting goals and objectives, and monitoring spending to ensure that all resources were allocated appropriately. In addition, I have had success in raising funds for various projects at our school. I work closely with parents, local business, and other community partners to secure donation and grants. Through these efforts, we were able to fund new technology initiatives, after school programs, and extracurricular activities. My ability to build relationship and collaborate with the stakeholders has been key to our success in this area. Question number 20. Describe a successful strategy for increasing student engagement. I believe that increasing student engagement is essential to creating a successful learning environment. My strategy for doing so I believe that increasing student engagement is essential to creating a successful learning environment. My strategies for doing so starts with building relationship and fostering an atmosphere of trust between students, teachers, administration, and parents. This can help create an open dialogue where everyone feels comfortable expressing their ideas and opinions. Next, I focus on providing engaging activities that are tailored to the individual needs of each student. This could include differentiated instruction, project-based learning, or hands-on activities that allow students to explore topics in depth. By making sure that all students have access to meaningful learning experiences, they will be more likely to stay engaged and motivated. Lastly, I strive to create a positive learning school culture by encouraging collaboration and recognizing student achievements. This can be done through things like student-led clubs, extracurricular activities, reward system that recognize effort and progress. All of these strategies help foster a sense of community and belonging within the school, which leads to increased student engagement. Question number 21. What strategies will you use to improve school safety. Understand the importance of school safety and believe it should be a priority for any educational institution. To ensure that our students feel safe and secure, I would implement several strategies. Firstly, I would work with local law enforcement to create an emergency response plan that outlines how to respond to various threats or incidents. This plan would include protocols for evacuation, lockdowns, or any other security measure. Secondly, I would review existing policy and procedures related to students' behavior, discipline, and bullying. If necessary, I would update these policies to ensure they are in line with current best practices. Thirdly, I would provide staff training on recognizing sign of potential danger and responding appropriately. Firstly, I would work with local law enforcement to create an emergency response plan. Secondly, I would review existing policy and procedures. I would update these policies if required. Thirdly, I would provide staff training on recognizing sign of potential dangers and responding appropriately. This could include topics such as active shooter drills, de-escalation techniques, and mental health awareness. Lastly, I would encourage open communication between staff, parents, students, so that any issues can be addressed quickly and effectively. By creating a culture of trust and respect, we can foster a safe learning environment where everyone feels supported. Question number 22, how would you involve parents in their decision making process? I believe that involving parents in the decision making process is essential to creating a successful school environment. As principal, I would make sure to keep open lines of communication with parents and actively seek their input on important decisions. This could include hosting regular meetings or forum for parents to voice their opinions and concerns, as well as providing online service to gather feedback. In addition, I would ensure that all decisions are made with the best interest of students and families in mind. To do this, I would collaborate with teachers and staff to identify potential solutions to any issues that arise and then present them to parents for discussion. By taking into account both the perspectives of educators and parents, we can create an effective plan of action that benefits everyone involved. So this most important, I would make sure to keep open lines of communication with parents and actively seek their input on important decisions. Question number 23, describe your approach to managing teacher performance reviews. My approach to managing teacher performance reviews is focused on providing meaningful feedback and support. I believe that the best way to ensure teachers are meeting their goals is to have an open dialogue between administrators and teachers. During my time as a principal, I have developed a system of regular meetings with each teacher to discuss their progress and any areas for improvement. This allows me to provide timely feedback and help them develop strategies to reach their goals. I also believe in recognizing and rewarding outstanding performance. I make sure to recognize teachers who go above and beyond in their work and encourage others to strive for excellence. Finally, I use data driven assessment to measure teacher performance and identify areas where additional training or resources may be needed. By taking this comprehensive approach to managing teacher performance review, by taking this comprehensive approach to managing teacher performance reviews, I am confident that I can create a positive learning environment for all students. Question number 24, how do you ensure that all students receive a quality education? I believe that all students should receive a quality education regardless of their background or circumstances. Is to ensure this, I focus on creating an equitable learning environment for all students. This includes providing equal access to resources and support services such as tutoring, counseling, and mentorship programs. I also strive to create a culture of respect and inclusion in my school by encouraging collaboration between teachers, staff, and parents. Finally, I make sure that our curriculum is engaging and relevant to the needs of our student population. By doing these things, I am confident that all students will have the opportunity to reach their full potential. What do you think is the most important role of a principal or a vice principal or a headmistress? I believe that the most important role of a principal is to be an instructional leader. As a principal, I understand that my primary responsibility is to ensure that all students have access to quality instruction and learning opportunities. As a principal, it's my responsibility that all students have equal access to quality instruction and learning opportunities. To do this, I must create a positive school cultures and climate where teachers feel supported and empowered to use best practices in their classroom. This includes providing professional development for staff, monitoring student progress, and implementing effective strategies for improvement. Furthermore, I am committed to building strong relationship with parents, community and members and other stakeholders to ensure that everyone feels connected to the school and has a voice in decision making. Finally, I recognize that it is essential to foster a safe, inclusive environment for all students so that can reach their full potential. So these are the questions it might be asked during the administration post.